Okay, so now we're looking at the Pacific Northwest here, northwestern Washington, the Puget Sound, and the border with Canada there. So there is Vancouver. You can see Seattle right here underneath all the rain and the clouds. You can see the clouds coming in off the Pacific. We have an atmospheric river in play, and that's bringing in tons of moisture. We're seeing as much as 10 inches of rain in the foothills of the Olympic Mountains and the Northern Cascades. So we have been seeing tremendous amounts of rainfall, much lighter rainfall amounts down to Portland. Some of those showers have made it as far south as Portland, but Portland is getting much less in the way of heavy rainfall. So still a little bit wet conditions, a little bit of wet conditions down as far south as Oregon into Portland, but Washington and Seattle, Belvedere, and the Seattle area, Tacoma, down up to the Olympic Mountains, we're seeing tremendous amounts of rainfall. 5 to 10 inches of rain has fallen today, and that atmospheric river is going to remain in place tonight, as well as for your Sunday. That rainfall will continue across the Pacific Northwest. So now, let's go down further to the south and take a look at the Four Corners, where we have a Colorado low that's bringing snow and rain to parts of the Four Corners. Oh my God, it's so hot in here because I'm doing this weather forecast today for you guys, and I'm hyped up because my stuff is working. I'm so happy. I have a beautiful forecast for you guys today, so I hope you enjoy that, and I hope for once I can get a viral weather forecast. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. All right, so we're going to do this thing here. You could just call me Mr. Weatherman here, and I got your back. In the Four Corners, so down to southern Utah, Moab, down through St. George, northern Arizona, the Mogollon Rim, so Sedona, areas like Phoenix, north of Phoenix, across the Apache Mountains, the Apache Junction area. We have here. Well, actually, let me zoom in real quick. Let me zoom in. So now that we've zoomed in on our map here, and we can see New Mexico right here, Arizona on this side, this is the Mogollon Rim. So Farmington, New Mexico, look at those rain showers, Albuquerque, Santa Fe. So we're seeing scattered rain showers moving from the south to the north here towards the Colorado border. You can see some snow showers in the mountains here above 7,000 feet. We're looking at some snow showers, and we're also going to see those snow showers here in the mountains of northern Arizona as well. Flagstaff, Show Low, Pine Top, those areas we're going to see snow. Gallup, New Mexico along I-40, we're going to see snow showers in the higher elevation. So if you're riding across here on I-40, or if you booked a trip on the desert, on the Southwest Chief, on Amtrak, you'll get a beautiful ride through this country here, through this area where the Southwest Chief kind of runs parallel near I-40 across Kingman, Arizona, Flagstaff, and those regions is all stopped there. Gallup, New Mexico, the Southwest Chief goes out into the plains and all the way up to Chicago, and it's an excellent train ride if you want to one day take that train trip across the Southwest. So hence the name, the Southwest Chief. So get on out there and support rail traffic, train travel in America, and let's do it, because there's another company called Brightline that's working on high-speed rail in different corridors across America, and they're working on a high-speed train between Vegas and LA. So hopefully that goes off without hitch. And don't forget that project they've been working on in California for the last 10 years, and they can't get it right, or how to build that high-speed train from LA to San Francisco. They've been working on it for 10 years and ain't got a single station built yet. I mean, they have the idea for plans of a station, but nothing is maybe they got some track laid or bridges and different track, the route laid, but they don't have nothing up and operational yet. So right now they're just wasting billions of money because the government's running. You know how the government can't do nothing right anyway. So, but let me be quiet because I think this is how I get bans on TikTok. Don't criticize the government because they'll ban you. They'll. That's how you end up with community guideline strikes on platforms like TikTok. So, but anyway, here's all of that rain from that Colorado low moving across the southwest, and we're seeing those rain showers from Sedona down to Phoenix. So we're going to see those rain showers make their way over to Tucson, eventually Oro Valley, and the Catalina Mountains, the Rincon Mountains, the Green Valley, Arizona, Graham County, Maricopa County, down also to Pinal County, Pima County, seeing those showers and maybe some rumbles of thunder as well. And this low pressure center is going to eventually make its way into the plains, and that could bring thunderstorms, and that's going to bring some rain showers, but not snow just yet to the plains and the Midwest. But this is how we get a lot of our snow, our big snowstorms in Minnesota. Here where I live, we typically get Colorado lows that drop down from either the Pacific Northwest or Northern California, and they call them inside sliders. And those low pressure centers drop into the Four Corners area, New Mexico and Colorado, and they spin up the snow and everything, and eventually they make their way into the plains, and until they turn left and move northeast into the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. And with that, they bring up lots of rain sometimes on the east side of the low, the warm side, but then there's a cold side, what we call on the wraparound, the frontogenesis side, which is where the frontal boundary is usually rain, but on the back side, where we have our snow. So we usually have a snow band that sets up, and typically that snow band is typically good for 6 to 12 or more inches here in the Twin Cities when we get a bona fide, healthy Colorado low. Other than Colorado lows, we get our snow. Now, Colorado lows tend to pack more moisture because they tap into the Gulf of Mexico for the source for moisture. So they tend to have wetter snow. So the snowflakes tend to be bigger and wetter. But otherwise, we get Alberta clippers, which come down out of Alberta, Canada, across the northern Rockies, and they move across the high plains. They move very fast. They are very starved for moisture because they evolve over the continental regions of Canada and the northern U.S. So they are typically moisture starved, and they have high winds, and they make it really cold because those damn winds on the backside. So it's often very brisk when the Alberta Clipper, and the snow is very light, very low moisture content. So it's often that powdery, dusty snow that you can sweep with a broom. You don't really need a shovel for this snow because it's always very light and powdery consistency. It's not the heavy wet stuff that we get like from Colorado lows. So that's typically how the snow scenario works here in Minnesota. So we'll see how that plays out. That we have a weak to moderate La Nina instead of El Nino like we had last year when we only had 14 inches of snow for the entire winter. And by the time winter ended, there was no snow on the ground by the time we got through February and into March. When we typically see a lot of Colorado lows in February and March, when I think, in my opinion, the bulk of the real snow falls. In January is when we see Alberta Clippers. January, late December, January, we see Alberta Clippers. But in February and March is when we see the Colorado lows really kick in. And that's when we get the heavy snowstorms and we can pick up a foot or more. So we'll see how this winter shapes up compared to last year. But I'm expecting considerably more snow than we saw last winter. So we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know how we play out this year. So that is the scenario across the Four Corners and the desert Southwest. Remember how hot and dry, and we had a fairly weak monsoon compared to last year. So a storm like this early is really good. So this is a good sign for snow for the snow places that the Colorado Sea and northern Arizona, northern New Mexico, the ski resorts, Utah ski resorts. So we're going to see some of that snow across Colorado and Utah as well. So we'll see if we can get off to a good start on the ski season this year. So now we're going to move to another part of the country and talk about the weather on the east. We're going to look at the East Coast, and I'm going to show you how freaking beautiful it has been across the eastern half of the United States. And I'm going to share with you another thing that's special about this nice weather that we're having on the east. The other added benefit, there's a problem too, but there's also a significant benefit as well. So I'm going to jump over to the other side of the country, and I will be right back.